friends, I'm going to show you today how to make a 2-layer silver cross. And the way this cross is going to be, it's going to have a top cross soldered down onto a wider base cross. And then I'm going to take some black backs and I'm going to darken that silver on the bottom layer so that smaller silver cross will stand out real nice. So I'm going to just show you, this won't take too long. What I've got here is I've cut out a wide cross like this, and I've cut out a smaller cross like this. This is out of, these are both out of 18 gauge sterling silver. And what I'm going to do, first of all, is I'm going to center this cross on top of that one, and I'm going to hard silver solder it down to the base. Then we'll be drilling a hole in it, and then we'll do some other things to make it look real nice. I've already put my maker's mark on the back. So next thing I'm going to do is flux it up, get some clamps on here, and we'll be ready to do some soldering. Today I'm using handy flux for my solder, or my flux, excuse me. And we'll be using some extra easy solder, silver solder. We're going to flux this up on the top. And flux it up right here. Smaller cross. Now, I've showed you how to make these clips in some of my other videos, so I'm going to use these to hold it in the center. It's real important to get it centered up properly. And I think that'll pretty much do it. So we're going to put it down here and start heating it up. When our flux turns clear, we'll start adding silver solder. You want to try to heat the bottom piece, it's not a fire brick, but this ceramic stone that I've got it sitting on. You want to try to heat it up, and it will radiate heat up to that bottom cross. The top cross is smaller, so it's going to heat up faster, and you don't want that because your solder will wind up on top, and you want it between them. And then you see me work the flame around there. Well, that draws that solder all the way around. And it's soldered down. Put a little coolant on it. We got a real good job on that. We've got solder peeking out all the way around a little bit. So what I'm going to do next is put it in my 25% muriatic acid. I'm going to let it take this dirty flux and heat scale off of it. Then we'll dip it in some baking soda solution to neutralize the acid, and then we'll do a little bit more on it. Okay, we got it out of the acid, and you can see it's all cleaned up. I did take, to keep this video a little shorter, I took a silicone blue wheel and I went around the edges of the cross and rounded some of the sharp corners. I also drilled a 1/16 inch hole right here in the top of it for a jump ring. And I had a little spot of solder right down here, and this got that off too. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to move over here to my engraver, and I'm going to come in here and around this top cross I'm going to what we call stipple. I'm going to use a carbide sharp pointed stippler, and what this engraver is going to do is just hammer everywhere I guide it. It's going to make little bitty holes in the silver, and when we tarnish it with that black max, that tarnish will go down in those little holes and hold better, and it will keep it in a black background appearance longer that way. Okay, I've got it on here. Now I normally, if I'm going to do a lot of engraving, I put it into this thermoplastic. Heat this up in the microwave. I put my cross on here and it sinks down in it. When it cools, it's hard as a rock and it holds my piece. But since I'm just stippling and I don't need to do a lot of movement, I'm going to just tape it down here to this block. I don't know if you'll be able to see this real good because I don't have a camera on my microscope, but I'm going to try to show you what I'm doing here. Okay, you get the principle. I'm just pitting all of the area around the top cross so it will hold the black max better. So I'm going to continue doing this, and then I'll show you the result of that, and we'll get it tarnished, and then once we got it tarnished, we'll start polishing off the areas that we don't want tarnished. So stay tuned. Okay, I've got this stippled all the way around. I don't know if you can make out that texture in the camera, but we got it done all the way around. And what we're going to do now is we're going to tarnish it. And I'm going to take some Midas Black Max. I get this at Rio Grande, and I'm going to put it in this cup here. We don't waste it. We pour it in there and then we put it back in the container. And this is a acetic, so you want to be careful with it, not spill it on things. Okay, let me get my tongs over here. These are some copper tongs I use for acids and things like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in here, and it's going to turn it completely black. But we're going to leave it in here probably, well, I'm going to look at the color and see how long it needs to be in. I can really just tell by the color. I can't really say a time, but it won't be long. And so we're going to put it in there. I can get it out with these. I don't have to stick my fingers in there. And I've got I'm going to set this back over here so I don't spill it. I've got a baking soda solution. right here. And once I get it out of there, I'll put it in here and it will neutralize that acid so it don't tarnish it any longer after I take it out. And I can't show it to you because this is a dark container, but I want it to get really tarnished, so I'm kind of watching it here. Okay, I've got it out of here. I'm going to dip it into the baking soda solution. Then it's safe to handle. I'm going to take this and pour it back into my container here. That way I don't waste it. Okay, you can see the tarnish on there. The whole cross is black. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dry it off and I'm going to start polishing on it. Let me get this solutions put up and then we'll do that. Okay, I've got some of these little polishing sponges, and I just rubbing the top of this. But I just want to polish that front cross off. Kind of hard to hold on to. And if you do take some of the black off around the edges when you're polishing, you can take a paintbrush and dip it in that black wax and just touch up the areas. But just be sure you put some baking soda on it afterwards. I'm going to continue to do this, and I think I'm going to flip it over on the back and polish the back off, and then I'll put a jump ring in it, and this one will be done. I'll show you a picture of it at the end of the video. Hey, I appreciate you tuning into this. This is a simple little project. I didn't want to make a real long video, so that's why I kind of skipped through some things here, but I think I got the whole thing thoroughly covered. Hey, please like and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. And stay tuned. I'm going to try to put out a lot more videos. See you later.